Hello, students, young lords, learners, viewers. I am going to talk about a very significant poem today. The title of the poem is Death Be Not Proud by John Donne. Death be not proud happens to be sonnet number 10 from Holy Sonnets of John Donne. This is a religious poem. In this poem, the poet trivializes death. It is a beautiful metaphysical poem. Generally, people consider death to be mighty and dreadful. People are afraid of death. People fear of taking the name of death. But John Donne says in this poem, Death be not proud, that death is not a matter of fear. It is not mighty, dreadful and fearful. There is no cause to fear of death. The poet gives argument after argument, logic after logic to prove his point that death is not a dreadful and fearful thing. The poet says that death is very weak. It is like sleep. Just as a person feels pleasure, in the same way death also flows pleasure, delight, according to the poet. The poet says that death is pictures of sleep. He challenges death that it cannot kill any person, anybody. He also goes to the extent of urging that he cannot kill him. Death cannot kill him. Death cannot destroy him. The poet likens death to sleep and rest. Again, the poet says that death is so helpless, so weak, that it takes help from other things like poison, war, sickness, illness, fighting, and so on. As a matter of fact, nobody dies before falling sick, before having some wound, in the war and battle. So they are sisters of death. Death seeks help from them. It's so timid, it's so helpless, it's so weak that it depends upon sickness, war, poison, etc. Again, the poet says that death is like opium or charm. After taking opium, a man becomes senseless, unconscious. When death occurs, man becomes senseless, unconscious. So the poet likens death to opium, charm. He goes to the extent of saying that the stroke of opium, a stroke of charm is better than that of death. The most significant thing is that death is a short sleep. After a man passes through that short sleep, people wake eternally. Death shuns them again. Death does not even touch them. Death does not come to them again. One short sleep pass, we wake eternally. The poet says that death is a short sleep, and after this short sleep, people wake eternally. People wake forever. Death does not cause any harm to them again. So this is a unique poem. This poem is quite different from the traditional poem on death, because John Donne was a metaphysical poet, and Death Be Not Proud is a metaphysical poem. A metaphysical poem is a poem that puts upside down and downside up. This is a feature, a characteristic of a metaphysical poem. Now let me talk about the literary devices used in this poem. In this poem, the poet makes use of many literary devices. He uses personification. Death is personified in the poem. Death is treated as a human being in the poem. Death, be not proud, though people consider thee mighty and dreadful, but thou art not so. The poem makes use of metaphor. Metaphor is a direct comparison between two dissimilar things. The poet compares death to sleep, short sleep, opium, and they are metaphors used in this poem. Again, the poet makes use of another literary device. That is assonance. Assonance is a literary device in which the sound of vowels abounds. To conclude, Death We Not Proud is a very interesting metaphysical poem. The poem trivializes death. He says that death is nothing but a short sleep. After this short sleep, a man wakes up forever. Man wakes eternally. Thanks.